Thank you, Gavin. Thank you so much. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So thank you so much for having me today. I'm super happy to be here today and share with you my knowledge. So before we start, let me introduce myself very quick. Okay, so my name is Mail Hadri. You can call me Agent 008, and there is a story behind this name. You can go to my Twitter and my YouTube. There's a lot of videos talking about my brand. Okay, I'm actually from Saudi Arabia, and I'm in Saudi Arabia, and I'm working within Schlumberger company as a digital analyst. So I have 5 years experience with different projects. Also, I'm a power addict. I really like to be part of this amazing community, learning Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, a lot of cool stuff. Also, if you are interested to know me more, or if you are interested to know my post and all my stuff, you can follow me on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. Also, I have my own community on Meetup. I call it Sharing is Caring group. So I'm doing a lot of session related to Power BI, Power Apps, a lot of things. I will be posting the link on a chat. So if you are interested, just go there and follow me. So why I'm here and what I would really like to share with you today, I really would like to share with you on how we can build a digital escape room. So what we will learn today, first, we will learn what's digital escape room. Second, we will learn how we can create any digital escape room by using Power Apps. Also, we will learn, is it possible to use Power Apps to build any digital escape room? So while I'm explaining how we can build a digital escape room, for sure we will do a live demo, which is it's the better way to show you on practice how we can do it. So what's digital escape room? If you are familiar with the physical escape room that we have it on most of the countries, actually, even within Saudi Arabia, we have a physical escape room. So the purpose or the idea behind it, so you go to the specific room, there is a specific story or specific scenario, and based on this one, you have a lot of locks and you need to open the locks to you. Based on opening the locks, you will be able to open the door. The same concept, the same idea, we will do by using a digital escape room. So we will convert the physical escape room to be as a digital escape room. And actually, a digital escape room, it's a good way and a fun way and a new way to share your knowledge or any topic that you have it with the audience. So while we are doing a live demo, I will show you a lot of fun things. So just be attention. So the question is here, how we can create any digital escape room? What kind of a step that I followed by myself to build this digital escape room? And actually, I built the digital escape room within less than 30 minutes. It's something really easy. Just make sure to follow this step to build an amazing digital escape room. First step, actually, you need to write your story. So what do we mean by write your story? It means I need to know what kind of questions or my room it's about what. For example, here in our scenario today, I will be talking about Power Platform. So my room or my questions and my logs will be focused on Power Platform. So you need to write your story before you build your digital escape room. Second step, you need to create your logs, your close. So it means, for example, my room will have 5 or 4 logs. So I need to write the question because the idea behind digital escape room to put like a logs, and within the logs you need to put a specific question will help the user to be able to answer it to open the final door. This is the second step. Third step, actually, you need to create your image. What do we mean by create your images here? It means you need to create your room image either by using animation tool. If you don't like the animation tools or if you are not expert with the animation stuff, there is an easiest way to take a picture for any room that you have it within your home or your office or whatever you want to take and add it to your application. And based on this one, you can add your question, your lock, and a lot of icons that you can add it to your room. Number 4, after you create your images, you need to start creating your logs. The logs here, actually, it's the questions. What do you want to ask the user to be able to unlock the logs? And final step, for sure, we need to build the application. So are you ready now to build the application and show you the step that I already have it on my application? So now it's the time to go to the application and show you how I build it. Let me open now the application, just a minute. Okay, cool. Here we go. Okay, so now if you look at my application, if you are not familiar with Power Apps, I'm not sure if you are familiar with Power Apps, but let me give you a quick overview about Power Apps. Power Apps is a tool that will help you to build your application. And it's a Microsoft tool. So even if you don't have any IT or any computer engineer background, you will be able to build your application. And there's a lot of courses, there's a lot of material will help you to learn more about Power Apps. Today, I will show you how we can build something really cool, really fun within Power Apps. So if you look at here, on my pages, I have the loading page. So for any application that I'm building, actually, I really like to add similar to the what we call it to the PlayStation games. So before you get a video loading, so similar idea, I have it here. I add my video and so on, but it will take time to be loading. Yeah, here we go. So our main focus, it's not about the loading page, but let me show you step by step. Let's try now to play the game together. After we play the game, I will show you each page and how I build it. So let me run it. Okay. If you look at the application here, first step I mentioned that we need to write our story. My story here, it's about Power Platform. It means I wrote my story before I built it here. I was thinking about I really would like to make like awareness for any beginner user about Power Platform tools that we have it. For example, we have different tools, right? And for each tool, there is a specific features or there is an idea behind this tool. For example, we have Power BI, we have Power Apps, we have Power Virtual Agents, we have Power Automate. So the idea behind this game here actually to get the audience attention to know what's the difference between each tool. But see how I'm building my story. So for example here, the idea is I am the actor within this game and I'm the main character actually. I built this animation by using another tool, which is I will arrange a specific session on how we can build your character by using animation tool. So here, the story is I'm in my office, and what I mentioned to the user that thank you, thanks God that someone found me, and looks like I'm stuck in this place. Do you know the way out? The door is locked. So here I'm telling the story to the end user. And while you are doing your digital escape room with this way, you will get the end user attention. So here, if you look at it, tap to start. So once they click on it, it will move to the second part of my story, which is here. I'm trying to introduce myself, who is this character in this game, which is Agent 008. And I'm trying to mention to them where I am. I was in my office working on organizing my stuff and everybody's gone. So now the user will be interested to know, okay, how can I help you? What's next? So they will click on tap to continue. Here, I'm explaining the whole idea of the digital escape room. What I mentioned here to them, in order to escape the room, you need to help me to automate my task as much as we can by assigning the correct tools from Power Platform. So here, I'm very clear to the user that you need to help me to put every tool that we have it from Power Platform in a correct place to organize my stuff. And I mentioned to them we have 4 looks. Maybe in your digital escape room, if you want to use a digital escape room idea in your business case or something, you can add more actually. But the idea here today, I would like to show you the easiest way how you can build a digital escape room and you can implement it to a different scenario. So now once I click tap to continue, here we go. This is the main game. This is the room that the user need to think and answer the question that we have it. And from there, they will be able to open the door. Let me highlight something here. If you would like to add a timer, you can add a timer actually. to get their attention. Or if you don't want to add a timer, you can. For example, here I'm not adding any timer, but the idea behind the digital escape room or the physical escape room, we have a timer for 60 minutes, but here I have only 4 lux and it's really easy. And because I'm doing a live demo with you, I cannot put the timer. So that's why, but you can add a timer anywhere and you can put a music, a lot of cool stuff, and it's really easy to add. Okay, so here you have two options. If you look at the image, I'm adding here something to the user. They need to think. They need to think about what kind of things that we can automate it. Or we can add a hint for each look that we have it. For example, look at here, or we can add an icon or anything that will get their attention to think this is the task that you need to automate it. But here I really like the user to think more. So that's why I'm not adding any hint to them. So for example here, but there is a trick. If you look at my mouse, if I move it here, will it change, right? Because I'm adding a button. Because once they click on the button, they will be able to see the pop-up message, which is I will explain it after we run the game. So here, the user, once they click here, a pop-up message will appear. And just a minute, because it's supposed to be loading with the frame. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So when they click on the first lock, they will be able to see this message. And which is the question that they need to answer it. Here, for example, we have a question. I need to analyze all my stored data into one dashboard. Which tool should I use? The user will be able here to write their question, to write their answer. It's Power BI. And once they click here, the magic will happen. Two things will happen actually. Once they click here, we will be able to see if it's correct answer or wrong answer. Plus, we will be able to see an icon that they open or they unlock the lock. So let's try it now. It's a correct answer. And if we close this one, we're supposed to see it here. Just a minute. Okay, cool. Let us solve all the question. Then I will show you all the icons. Second one, which tool I can use to build an app that will help me to add all the requests from the clients, which is Power Apps. Cool, it's a correct answer. Here we go. So the user will be able to see that he already solved two looks or two questions that we have it within the game. So we have, because I know the escape room, that's why I will solve it very quick with you. Then I will show you each part of the formula and the code that we added to the application. So if I look at here, build time saving workflows to send me a reminder on my daily task. For sure, it's Power Automate. And actually, what you can add, just a minute. Let me try to write it wrong. Okay, automate. Okay, here I'm not adding any space. It means it's not the correct one. So it showed me a wrong answer. But once I click here, it's supposed to be correct. So once the user will be able to recognize if it's correct or if it's wrong answer. So, or what you can do actually, if you want to make it more interesting, you can add a hint for the user. Like we have 4 letters, we have 2 words. It's up to you at the end. It's your game, so you can be creative as much as you can. Okay, cool. So we have only one left, which is this one. Let me try it. Create and manage powerful chatbots that can resolve common issue and answer a question around the clock. So for sure, it's Power Virtual Agents. And once we click here, now we're supposed to see a pop-up message that we escaped the room. It will take a time, just a minute. And actually what I have been added to the game, if the user want to uh, play the game again, I have been added something, we call it reset here, will help them. So if you look at it, the user already solved 4 questions. Once the user solved all the locks that we have it and unlock all the locks, we'll be able to see this pop-up message. Maybe in your scenario, you would like to add another message or whatever you want to add. So here we go. Now, let me reset the game and show you each page and how I build it. So I will reset and let us start from scratch here. Here we go. So if you look at the main page, It's something really easy. It's just a background. And actually, if you don't like to use a lot of images, or if you don't want to add the story similar to my story here, you can use one image, one background, and you can add a timer and put a labels, and based on the timer, the label will appear to the user. But here, I just want to make it simple because it's just an example how we can build it. So here we go. Here it's just an image. I already built it on my another animation tool. But if we look at this one, tap to start. Let me zoom it so you will be able to see it. Okay, so here we go. If you click tap to start, it's just a button. And once they click on it, they will be able to navigate to the second page. So let me show you on start or on select. Let me go here to show you the code. So on select, actually, it will take a time. So on select, when they click on it, it will be navigate to the second page, which is, I call it here page number 2. So if I click on page number 2, similar way, similar scenario. I have a background, I have a button, and within the button, I'm adding navigate to the third page or number 4, whatever I would like to navigate. So here we go. If we see this button, it just navigate to page number 2. Page number 3, it show me navigate to the main room, or which is the digital escape room. Now, let us go to the main room, or the main digital escape room, that the whole trick, the whole idea behind it. So if we go to this page, let me show you something here. If you look at it, this one, the user, when we open the game as an end user, we are able to see this one. There is nothing, right? There is no hint, there is nothing. Even the button, it's hidden. The user will not be able to see it. But let me open another page to show you as a developer or as a creator for this application. I have been removed the hidden, and it's visible to everyone now because I would like to show you how I build it. So now if we look at the locks that we have it, I have 4 locks, right? So if we look at this one, I have button, and also I have a label here. Here I have lock number 4, and I have a label. And even here, I have Power BI, I have lock number 2, or whatever you want to call it. So what I have here on my image, I have buttons, and also I have labels. So, and for each lock and label, it's the same scenario that we have it for each part. So if you understand the first part or the first scenario on how we can build the first lock, you will be able to do the same for everything. So if at the lock number 1, and let us see what kind of formula or code that I'm adding here. It just never, let me open it here, lock number 1. Just a minute, it will take time. Actually, if you remember, once the user or the end user click on it, we get a pop-up message, right? Because when the user click on it, I'm adding or I'm building a variable that will help the user or to make the pop-up message visible to them. So let's try now to see here, even here. So this is the first part of the button. It will help me all it. And if we look at here, we have a label. And if you notice that for each label, it's the correct answer that we have it for the question, right? So here I have Power Apps, here I have Power Virtual Agents, Power BI, Power Automate, and so on. So let me now try to click on lock number 1. Cool. Once we click on it, we get the pop-up message because, as I mentioned, once we click on the button, I'm adding or I'm building or creating a variable that will help the user to see this pop-up message. And if we look at it here, for each lock, actually, I'm adding a specific, what we call it, a specific group, because I have a specific frame, I have a text input, I have even this one. So if we look at this web message, what kind of things do we have? We have the image here. We have the rectangle to make sure that to have this frame. Actually, I built this frame by using PowerPoint, something really easy to do. to do and to make
Well,
it more
audio
attractive. Or
is
if
drifting in and out, May.
you
I'm not sure if there's a connection
don't
problem.
want to use anything labeled with the question, here I'm adding my question. Okay, so if you notice, able to see my screen, or
I can see your screen, but the
hello?
audio, unless it's a connectivity issue. I don't know if it's my machine or somebody else's. I don't know. You still there? Maybe, maybe not.
Okay, so can you hear my connection
Yes.
is very well?
Yeah. Maybe it is some kind of connectivity issue,
Okay,
but
cool.
carry
Okay,
on.
so here
That'll be
within
good.
the uh, okay, cool. So okay, so if we look at this pop-up message, we have this question, right? So for each lock within the digital escape room, I'm adding a label, and within the label, actually, I'm having so okay, let me see it here. So if you look at it here, I'm adding my text. Within this one, I'm adding my question. So here I'm using I'm using a collection to collect the answer, actually. But if you are interested to use a SharePoint or other data source, it's really a good idea for you to add your questions, your answer that you have it within your SharePoint or other data source. But here, I'm building everything locally within the Power Apps. I'm not using any data source. So the way to collect the question or the way to collect their answers, it's a collection within the Power Apps. I mentioned here, if you look at the question, I just type it by myself within the About Apps because I have a few questions. But in your scenario, if you have a lot of a question, add it to your data source and add the formula to read or the gallery. You can add a gallery to read the question, and based on this one, they will be able to answer it. Okay, cool. What do we have here also? We have a text input, which is the user will be able to add their question, to add their answer, sorry. So after they add their answers, where's the trick? How can I know if it's correct answer or it's wrong answer, and from where I will be able to see the pop-up message here as a wrong or correct? Once the user add their answers, actually, and once they click here, we will be able to see two things, actually. We will be able to collect their answers and add it to the collection. Let me show you here what I have here. On select, we have two things. We are checking if their answers here is matching the label that I have it here on my log, and plus if it's correct, show me it's correct. So what I'm doing here, actually, to make it much easier for me and to the end user, if they are adding a wrong answer, I'm not collecting their answers at all, and they will get a wrong answer, actually. But if they are adding their answers correctly, I will collect their question, which is here. So if my label here equal text input here, collect their answers and add it to my collection. And I call my collection here lock number one. So here basically I have 4 collection. Maybe you want to have everything within one. It's up to you. But here I divide it to be as a 4 collection. So just collect it and add it to the lock number one. And here I'm creating a context variable to show me if it's correct, show me it's correct. If it's wrong, show me it's wrong. So for example here, if I add like Power Apps, and once I click on it, two things will happen. If it's correct, I will add it to the lock number one collection and show me its correct answer. Let's try to click now on it. Cool. So, and let's check the first condition, which is the collection that I have it on my file, which is here. On my Power Apps, I have 4 collections. Lock number 1, lock number 2, 3, there's nothing. 4, there is nothing. If we look at lock number 1, we're supposed to have it here, but it's loading. Cool. Here we go. It's Power Apps, which is the correct answer from the end user. But what if they are adding a wrong answer? We will not be able to see it here at all. Why I'm doing this, I will show you after we move to the next part of the escape room. So here we go. This is the main idea of the escape room actually, and how you add your question, how you add your locks, and how you can make it as easier as much as you can. Okay, so once they click on this one, this icon, they will be able, or whatever we have as a variable, context variable, we have two context variable, right? We have the one that once they click on the button as a lock, a message will appear. We need to make it false. So we'll be able to close the pop-up message. Plus, we want to remove this one. We don't want to just close the pop-up message and the correct answer is still on my our game. So that's what we have here. So once I close it, I will be able to see this icon. It means they already open or they already unlock this lock. How can I make this one visible? What kind of condition that I'm adding here to my game? So let us have a look at it. And once we look at it here, there is a specific condition that I'm having here. Actually, under visible, I'm adding one condition here. If my collection, lock number one, because I know the question here, if the user answered it correctly, it will be stored on my first collection, which is lock number one. So if it's not empty, it means there is an answer there. Make it true, make it visible to the user. But if it's false, don't make it visible. That's the idea why I'm actually collecting the correct answer, not the wrong answer. The same way for all the locks. The two things you need to add to your game: button and a label. And the idea behind the whole question and answer is the pop-up message. Within the pop-up message, the user will be able to read the question and answer it. And if you see the lock that we have it here, we just add we're just creating a context variable here, and once they click on it, we will be able to see the pop-up message. It's something really easy to do, and that's it. But let me show you something here very quick. You remember when we played the game that a pop-up message, it appeared to the user when they solve all the questions, like congratulations, we already escaped the room. How my application knows that the user already answered all the question? What kind of condition or what kind of formula that I'm adding here? Let me show you. Let us solve it very quick. I just wanted to show you what kind of things that I'm adding here. So just a minute. Our virtual agents. Cool. And here we go. Let me add here Power BI. And here the final one, Power Automate. Okay, now let me show you. Now when the user solved all the locks that we have it within the game, we're supposed after a few seconds to get a pop-up message or another image. It show them like, we escaped because of you, or whatever of congratulation message. But how I'm able, or how my application knows that the user already solved all these questions? Because let me show it to you. I'm adding specific things within the visible here. What I'm adding actually, you remember when I mentioned I just wanted to collect the correct answers from the user actually. I'm checking if all my collections, which is here, I have 4 collection. If all my collection is not empty, it means the user already solved everything. And you need to use and condition, not or, because and it means all the locks the user need to solve it. Otherwise, they will not be able to see this message. So let's try to see here. It will take time. Okay. So this is for the pop-up message. Here we go. What I'm doing here, I'm checking if my first collection, I call it lock number 1, and you can call it whatever you want. And you need to add and. If you add or, it means if the user solved only one lock, will be able to see this pop-up message or a pop-up image for them. So here I'm checking all my collection, lock number 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. If it's not empty, it means we have the correct answer. Make it true. But in your scenario, if you are using another data source, not a collection within the Power Apps, like a SharePoint, you can do the same, but using a SharePoint list, or add your question and answer and check if this text input equal to this column or a specific column that you have it in your SharePoint, it means this is the correct answer. So you can do a lot of a trick, but the same concept that we have it here. And what else do we have here? Okay, cool. So how you can build a digital escape room, what we learned today, you can make things really easy to do, and you can make the way that you explain to the user or to your audience an easiest way and fun way. And it's really something easy and simple to do. I built this room within less than 30 minutes. You just need to write your story, think about what kind of things you want to add as a question within your game, and how many locks you need to add to your game. If it's more than 10 locks, so you need to think about the correct question, the tricks that you need to add it here. And also, what do you need to do, how you can create the image of your game, and how you can show them how an easiest way how to solve the room. And it depends on who is the end user for your game. Maybe here it's something really easy, anyone can use it, but maybe in your scenario you would like to convert this idea to be as a business case, which is more professional, so you can make it more professional. Before we end this part, let me show you something. What if the user want to play the game or the digital escape again? So how we can do this? Actually, I have added here something, I call it reset, which is a button. And once they click on it, all my collection that I have it, because I'm using a collection, will be removed. The data that within the collection will be removed. So let me show it to you. So once I click reset, I'm cleaning all my collection within Power Apps, and they will be able to play the game again. So it's really easy to build. I'm just using a labels, buttons. Also, I'm using a pop-up message to see the question and to answer, and a collection. And it's something really easy to do. So if you have any question, even if you want to take this template and you can improve it, or you can use it on other things, just let me know. So thank you so much. And if you have a question, it's the time now to add your question within the chat, or if you want to ask me directly, feel free now.
Okay, so thanks very much, May. That was really cool. And we did have one question from Hesham, but that they've had to leave. And I think probably everybody else will be asking the same question. So, what did you use to draw the animations?
Okay. So actually, for building my animations, actually I'm using two things, XD and not XD, the tool we call it Animator, but it's for if you don't have any experience with the animation things, you will not be able to do it because you are building the character from scratch. Or there's available tools that will help you to build your own characters without having any experience with the animation. I will be typing the name of the application.
Okay.
And I did a session on my YouTube, which it was the first one. I call it how you can build or video. But let me add the name of the application here on the chat. So this one, actually, if you look at my Twitter, LinkedIn, my
Yeah.
avatar, I'm using this one. It's free. You can build your own character. The idea, you just need to take a picture of yourself, and from there you can change your
All right.
color,
Cool.
hair, whatever you want to do. It's something similar to the Snapchat avatar, but
Yeah.
it's I prefer this one. It's because we have a high resolution animation and a lot of fun things. Yeah.
I
So
can see a lot of people having
any other
a play with that
question?
later. I know. I know I will be just to kind of see how it works.
Well,
That's really cool.
uh,
Um, I guess the only other thing is there anything when you have is there a limited number of locks? Because otherwise that if statement might just get really, really long. Is there a different way to do that? Maybe from a have I got all the answers right or all the answers wrong?
so actually, it depends on your data source. For example, here I'm using a collection. So that's why I build it in this way. Maybe in your scenario, you want to use another data source, for example, a SharePoint. And if you are using a SharePoint, you can make it much easier. And even this one, it's really easy to do because you just need to build something once and from there copy and paste and to change the name of the logs and the collection. But if you are using a SharePoint, it will be much easier for you because you don't need to write your questions within the game and you can add your question within a specific list. Even if you have 100 questions, it will be much easier for you because you will be able to use a gallery instead of using a labels within the pop-up message. And I did one session. I call it how to build a quiz by using Power Apps. It's similar idea actually. You can use the same concept to build your question within the digital escape room. So you can look at it. It's already I can share with you the link about how we can build a quiz and you can look at it the way how I'm building the question by using a SharePoint and a gallery within Power Apps. Hopefully
Okay.
I answered your question correctly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Cool, cool. Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah.
So
Let me just check the chat. I don't think there were any other questions at the
yeah.
minute. Doesn't seem to be.
What's,
Okay, so
we have a question
Shiot
about
has
agent.
asked, what about Agent 008?
Okay, so I will give you a quick brief about the story behind Agent 008, but there is also a story. I already have a video talking about my brand and Agent 008. So the idea behind Agent 008, Berger, we have internal program and it's led by Digital Engagement Manager. So it's
Hmm?
like to motivate us and show us how we can be more talented. So he picked a specific people from the company to be as an agent. It's an internal program. But for me, I was super active on the community. So I asked him, is it okay to use this logo or this brand to be even my externally logo and brand? He said, okay. So based on this one, now I'm agent 008 even the company, and I mentioned to them, even if I leave the company, this agent 008 will be my brand for my whole life because everyone now knows me as a agent 008. So that's why it's my logo and my brand, and one day maybe I will have my own company with agent 008, so we don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
You never know. Yeah.
We have a fun one question, who
Yeah.
is agent 007? It's James Bond. So
Yeah.
that's why I picked to be agent 008. I want to be after him immediately. So
Yeah. Very
okay,
good.
cool.
Okay. Any other questions from anybody
So
else?
any
I'm just checking now. Okay. Doesn't seem to be. So I think we can probably wrap up
if
there.
anyone have any question, they
Yep.
can talk to me immediately on my Twitter. Okay, cool.
No problem.
Thank you so much for having
No,
me today.
thank
I
you for
really
giving us the
enjoyed.
time as well.
Yeah,
It's been really good to have you here. It's a little bit different from
thank,
some of the normal stuff, but I think it was been really cool. Good fun as well.
thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'll stop the recording.